Hey friends, so I wanted to take a moment and show you how to get your first client, build momentum, and set up systems for growth. Why start here? A business without sales is just an expensive hobby. The moment you make the first sale, you prove your idea works. You get confidence, cash flow, and choices, right? From there, you can build the systems that free up your time and really give you the life you wanted when you started. So, step one, clarify your mission and the reason. Before you talk strategies, you need to know why you're doing this. Why, right? Why did you start your business? To help others, to get freedom, to build wealth. Why do you help? Describe that, with a real person, not just anyone who needs your service or your product, right? If you're selling a purse or if you're selling a service, right? You want to focus on a specific client. Now, I will tell you that when I started my business, I was doing taxes for everyone and everybody, okay? Whoever needed to do their taxes. And to be honest with you, we still help a lot of individual clients, but a lot of our focus has moved to businesses more than individuals. We still help them though, because I feel that that's where the business owner starts. They start as an individual tax client and then move on to become a business owner, right? So make sure that you're looking at those areas, okay? So make sure you're describing the real person. What problem are you solving? What keeps them up at night? And really write out like what you help them with, right? So we typically help small business owners, restaurants, or trade services lower their tax liability and increase their profits, right? Because ultimately, more money not solves every problem, but it solves a lot of them, okay? Step two, identify your ideal client. Don't waste your time selling to everyone, okay? Now, again, if you're starting out, I do suggest this at the beginning. Why? Here's why. Because you need to get the reps in. You need to learn about individual clients so that you can move on to the business clients, right? Because you start somewhere. You start going through the struggles of this client, learning all of their issues, the concerns that they have, the questions that they have. And what that does is it makes you a better tax preparer, advisor, tax planner, right? Strategist, because you have to go through the beginning stages of an individual tax client for you to go ahead and think, you know what, I think I want to move into the business sector of things, right? So don't waste your time with everyone. Make sure that you are taking advantage and learning from the beginning stages. It's kind of like when you start your first job. When you're young, I was 15 years old when I started my job. I used to work at a Burger King. I would do anything and everything so that I can move up in my job. And I remember cleaning the bathrooms. I remember cleaning the kids club. I remember, cleaning all kinds of stuff. You don't even want to know what I was cleaning. But anyways, but I started there and then I became an assistant manager. And then from there, I started working with seniors. So I feel that you have to go through it to learn it, right? So again, we want to make sure that, who are you most likely to make an offer to today? Where do they spend their time? Are they online? Are they offline? What, right? What language do they use when talking about their problem, right? Step three, create a simple, irresistible offer. Your first sale doesn't need to be fancy. It doesn't need a website. It doesn't need a big marketing budget. it needs a clear offer that makes someone say, I need this, right? Checklist for a strong offer: clear result, what they'll get, timeline, when they'll get it, price, don't overthink it, start simple, and a reason to act now, right? There's a limited spot, maybe there's a deadline, maybe there's a bonus. Like right now, it is the 12th of August, and to be honest with you, we have about a month to finish the extensions for all of our S corporation tax returns and all of our partnership tax returns. So that is a deadline that would make sense, that if a client calls and says, hey, you know what, I need your services or whatever that may be, and you're trying to talk to them about it, that would be a good deadline for them. Step 4, reach out directly. This is the, get out of your chair and sell part, right? Ways to reach out to your first clients. Let me tell you, I remember probably like 6 or 7 years ago, I actually met my first business coach, and she taught me how to reach out to people on social media. Not to sound, cold or like, not to sound salesy or anything like that, but it was you reaching out to people on social media that were your friends already. They were already connected to you, and basically you were just reaching out and saying, look, I don't know if you know someone that might need my services, but if you do, send them my way. This is what we do. This is the service that we provide. And let me tell you, we started getting all kinds of clients. And here's the best part about it. When you start a business, I think the scariest part where you think is, where will I get my clients from? Where are they going to be coming from? And let me tell you, when I started doing this like 7 years ago, it changed my whole perspective, because we would send out like 40, 50 messages a day, and we would get at least 10 people that would respond, and they needed our services, either taxes or bookkeeping, or it became a relationship and a partnership with those people. And let me tell you, it has been the most freeing thing you can do. So again, reach out to people in your platform already. If you are part of Instagram, if you're on Facebook, if you're on LinkedIn, if you're on Alignable, that's another place as well that you can send out messages. Even if you are on your own Google My Business, if you have your business there, let me tell you, you can post there daily, and it tells the algorithm, the SEO, that you're on the system all the time and what you're posting, and it is great. You'll get clients from there too. Okay, so step 4, reach out directly, right? Make sure that you're sending out DMs, that you're sending emails to at least 20 to 30 people a day if possible, right? And again, you are not going to sell them anything. You're just going to offer and say, do you know anyone that would benefit from our services? Send them my way, right? Make sure you post on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, share your offer. The other areas, of course, is to attend local networking events, right? Do a meetup, maybe call your past contacts, colleagues, maybe friends who could benefit, So ideally, again, you want to send out at least 20 to 30 messages a day if possible. Why? Why do I say that? Because the more messages you send out, the more responses you will get, okay? Now, step 5, close that sale. Keep it simple. Focus on their problem, your solution, and the result, right? And the biggest thing you want to think about is, ask about their situation. Tell me about what's going on with your bookkeeping. Tell me what's going on with your taxes. Tell me what's going on with your business right now. Tell me a little bit about your business. Tell me how you got started, right? You start the conversation from there, and I promise you, if and when they feel the love and the trust from you, they will share everything with you, okay? Make sure you show you understand, right? Sounds like you've been dealing with this pain point, right? Offer the solution. Here's how I can help fix this, right? And the fourth is really invite them. Would you like me to get started? Would you like to get started today? Okay. Step 6, deliver and get a testimonial. Once you get the sale, deliver the results you promised, ask for feedback, get a testimonial written or on video. Okay, this becomes your social proof, and I'm sure you know that already, right? Step 7, create the systems to buy back your time. Know that your proven people will pay you, okay? Start putting systems in place. And what are they, right? Your standard operating procedures, your SOPs, how you deliver, your automated invoices, and your payment collection. Why? Because if you're making a sale, you want to make sure that you have the systems in place to be able to charge, right? You want that money to hit your bank as soon as possible. You want to have your templates, your proposals, your follow-up emails, and your onboarding or your offboarding, right? And of course, you want a CRM, somewhere where you can keep track of your client in a system, okay? For us, we use Notion to create all of our SOPs. We have automated invoicing and payment collection through Stripe as well as QuickBooks. We also have templates, proposals, follow-up emails, onboarding and offboarding, and our CRM is basically all in one. It's called TaxDome. We love it. We use it. Our team just really enjoys using that system as well. So your business should run smoother each and every time you make a sale. Not let it get overwhelming, okay? So quick checklist for the first sale. You know who your ideal client is. You have a simple, clear offer. You've reached out to 20 to 30 people per day on social media. You followed up with anyone who showed interest. You closed the sale with confidence. That means with a yes. You delivered the result. You collected the testimonial, and you documented the process for the next time. That's all, my friends. I really wanted to take a moment and share that with you. It's really important. Don't focus on everything else about the business, right? Focus on the sale right now. Focus on who you want to work with. Focus on the offer. Focus on offering them your solution. And I will talk to you next time.